What is pelvic floor dysfunction? This is what we're talking about in today's video. I am Dr. Diane. I'm your libido doc, talking this month about all things pelvic floor. So pelvic floor dysfunction, let's break this down. So essentially the pelvic floor is this region, right, where our two hip bones are and all the muscles that are largely coming together to make almost this hammock type of shape. The pelvic floor essentially is going to hold together our bones, our lower spine, our organs, our tissues. All of this is really held together by these muscles of the pelvic floor. Not the only thing. We have other things holding our structure together. But pelvic floor dysfunction oftentimes is classified as the inability to properly contract and relax these muscles. So symptoms of pelvic floor dysfunction could be things like incontinence. So we could essentially be losing our urine. This could be randomly. It could be when we cough, sneeze, or laugh. It can even be not being able to hold our stool in. So all of this type of normal function is done in part with the help of our pelvic floor muscles. Now, also, if we cannot properly contract and relax our pelvic floor muscles, that can also lead to pain. So we can get pain anytime, just random genital pain. We can get pain with sex. We can get pain in our bladder. We can have pain that may feel like a UTI, but isn't. So pain in general, it's not the only reason, of course, for pain, but pain in general in this area, in this lower part of our abdomen with sex or even without sex, we want to think about a level of pelvic floor dysfunction. So why do we get this is an important question. So a lot of people realize that we can have a level of pelvic floor dysfunction when we become pregnant. That's the most commonly known reason for pelvic floor dysfunction. But there's so many reasons. Posture, not stretching correctly, any sort of acute trauma, pulling a muscle at the gym, not breathing properly when we're lifting weights can do this. We can also see infections, we can see emotions, we can see stress, we can see TMJ. So there's so many different root causes. We can also see hormonal and circulatory and more. So there's a lot of different reasons for this, but remember that when we're talking about pelvic floor dysfunction, really what we're talking about is the muscles and the ligaments that make up this area, that make up this kind of hamstring type of structure that really is holding our organs, holding our tissues together, either is too tight or too loose, or oftentimes a combination of both. Because think about this, if we are working out our biceps and we're going to the gym and we're working our biceps work the best when we contract them, but also when we relax them, right? It's that both type of thing. We want to contract our muscles, we want to relax our muscles. And so sometimes with pelvic floor dysfunction, the muscles get stuck too much either in the contraction or the relaxing, and that is leading to a level of the dysfunction. It's the muscles, the ligaments, the tissues are not performing properly. With things like incontinence, oftentimes that holding function of the muscle is not able to work and hold in things like urine and stool. And there are things we can do. So we're going to talk about this month. Make sure you subscribe to this channel because it's all things pelvic floor this month. Please let your friends know about this. I know so many people need this information. And if you want to dive in more and ask me questions, please register for my masterclass. It's coming up on pelvic floor health. You'll see that in the show notes. I will see you in another video.